Hey guys, it's Bub here, and in this video we're taking a look at PearOS Nicecore. Now, we actually took a look at PearOS Nicecore about 3 years ago, but since we did that, the developers can completely rebuilt this operating system from the ground up and have made it look more like today's version of macOS. So I'm very eager to take a look at this. I said 3 years ago that PearOS Nicecore was the closest Linux distribution to a macOS release. I'm hoping that that still maintains even today after the rebuild of this operating system. So again, let's jump into it. I'm really excited to take a look at this because PearOS was something that I've known about for a long time, dating back to PearOS 8 on my really old desktop I used to have, and even now looking at it 3 years after the last time. So let's get into it. All right, and here we are in the live environment here. So this is PearOS for the March 11th, 2026 update. We are going to go ahead and close that, and it gives us a nice PearOS welcome. So what do we want to do? Do we want to donate? Do we want to go to their social media? Those are new from the last time we looked at PearOS, but we obviously want to install PearOS on our system. So that's going to actually bring us into a very nice setup screen, a lot nicer than a lot of the other Linux ones I've seen, and really imitate what macOS recovery looks like, which is pretty cool. So let's continue through here. I agree. Install there. That was really easy, and it really mimics macOS. So I am really impressed, honestly, that this looks like this. I mean, it's pretty insane that they were able to make an OS that looks so close to macOS, at least the recovery install environment. All right, and here we are. Now, one thing, I couldn't actually get PearOS Nicecore to install. It said it was going to take 94 minutes to install, which it shouldn't have taken that long. So we're just going to go ahead and jump into the live environment, understanding that this is the same OS, just not fully installed to the disk, so we may see some performance issues. I apologize to the developer if you're watching this. I promise we'll do a fair evaluation. And there is a lot to take in here, because at first glance, to somebody who doesn't know the difference, this looks like macOS. I mean, starting up here with the bar at the top, we have the Pear logo, which obviously replicates the Apple logo. Finder is called Pinder in the sense of PearOS Finder. We have our File, Edit, View, Go, Window, Help buttons. One thing we also have, I'm not a big fan of, but I'm kind of glad it's here, is there's a notch added to our screen. And I just maximize the notch, and I can't get it to go away, which is pretty nice there. We can then edit PearOS notch settings. Oh, there we go. Let's terminate that so we have a more authentic macOS desktop experience. We then have our networks. We have our status and notifications. We have power management, which doesn't apply because I'm on a desktop. We have our search bar, and we also have our system settings, or our little control pane here that is similar to macOS, but it is a little off. I mean, you can just tell the background's not there, but they did try. I mean, they tried to replicate Liquid Glass, and they actually did a pretty good job for Linux. One thing I noticed, though, is if I click on the desktop, it doesn't go away. I actually have to click on the control center icon again. And then lastly, we have the Pear clock, which shows the date and time, although it is incorrect in this case. Probably not sure why. I have to look into that. On the desktop itself, we have our system clock or system calendar widget. And then we also, I don't know why, I must have moved my mouse too quick that it enlarged. macOS does that. And then our time, which I don't actually know where this time is, because that is not where I am located. I have no idea where that is in Romania. Okay, so that is not where I am located. But nice to know it's 13 degrees in Romania. That's probably Celsius. Yeah, it is Celsius. Coming down to the bottom of our screen, this is where we have the PearOS dock, which actually looks very similar to macOS. So we have the Pear Finder, we have the Pear applications, which they even updated this so that you no longer have the full screen application window. You only have this right there, which is pretty cool. Moving over, we do have Pafari, which I assume is some level of Firefox, maybe. No, it actually does look like Safari, but what is this? I have no idea what browser this actually is running, which is actually a good thing. They hit it very well. Kmail, Maps, Gwenview, Calendar, Contacts, the To-Do, Notes, Elisa, which is probably it's just a music player like Apple Music. The icon is not red, it is green. I do like it though, they put their own little spin. We then have the App Store, which, wow, they have replicated this to look like the macOS App Store. I mean, this is, just look at the way that they design these panels here. I mean, this is actually pretty impressive, I'm not going to lie. Although if I click on these NordVPN, it doesn't actually work. But if I go into Firefox, yeah, I could, okay, just opened up a bunch of stuff there. but I can click Firefox Git and it would, I assume, just run Pacman for Firefox. We then have KDE Connect. So this is like Apple's screen mirroring for iOS, so you can connect your iOS device to the system, which is pretty interesting. I didn't know that you could do KDE Connect on iOS. I guess you learn something new every day. And then we also have our system settings, which actually, this looks like macOS. Like if I didn't know the font was off, this really looks like macOS. I mean, just if you've never seen macOS settings, you should take a look, because this is pretty close. I mean, again, the macOS 26 pane, it's really impressive the way they were able to replicate this. I mean, I'm in shock. We also have Pair Intelligence and Peary. So it does look like there is some level of Apple Intelligence AI that we actually have to download the model. It's 2.3 gigs, which I didn't think that this would even have something like that. Interesting. I had no idea that this even was a thing. I don't want to enable Peary and take 2.3 gigabytes of download time, but this is pretty impressive. We do have quite a few different settings here, although desktop and dock are not available. So even though it was designed from the ground up, there is still some stuff that is not fully developed yet, which is totally fine. Totally expect that. Let's take a look at that lock screen just to see what it looks like. Oh wow, this is incredible, because that looks like macOS. And coincidentally, I think I just locked myself out of the system because it's a live user and I don't have the password. Alright, and we are back in the live system. I just rebooted the OS. But that pretty much brings up the end of this video. So this was PearOS 26.4 Nicecore. Let me know what you think about this ISO down in the comments below. I really wish I was able to install this, but just given some of my own time constraints, I was not able to wait the 94 minutes install time. If you have any questions on this ISO or any feedback, please again leave them in the comments below. I love reading comments. And if you have any other ISOs you want me to take a look at, please also leave them in the comments below, as I love doing viewer recommended videos. With that being said, if you like this video, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you're new around here, as I do all kinds of different technology videos, including device restorations. With that being said, I'll see you all in the next one.